Clear routines and procedures are vital in classroom environments. They allow teachers to focus on meeting the diverse needs of their students within the allotted time each day while maintaining a positive environment. In this video, we'll explain why routines and procedures are important. We'll also describe some best practices for implementing routines and procedures and outline some times when they are most needed. Classroom routines and procedures are important for several reasons. First, teachers are responsible for helping all students meet their learning goals. Class sizes may be large, and students have individual strengths and needs. It can be difficult to provide differentiated instruction when attending to so many varying needs, and interruptions may be frequent. Next, there's a limited amount of instructional time each day. Even on days when everything runs smoothly, it can be difficult to find time to cover all learning objectives. A smoothly run classroom allows for learning time to be maximized rather than spending unnecessary time on transitions or redirecting behavior. Routines and procedures also help create a positive environment. When students know exactly what's expected of them at all times, they're more likely to meet expectations and need fewer redirections. Here are some best practices to keep in mind when considering how to implement routines and procedures. 1. Teachers should consider specific situations and times of the day when procedures are most needed. They may consider the following questions. When are the transition periods? The shift from one activity to another can be stressful for students who may feel rushed or who have uncompleted tasks. Transitions also involve movement and can easily take longer than needed if not practiced. When will teachers be occupied and need students to work independently? When will students complete activities around the room where they may be interacting with one another and with materials? Next, teachers should list these times and develop specific procedures for each. This should be done at the start of the school year to set students up for success. Number 2, these procedures should be explicitly taught, modeled, and practiced. For example, if introducing a procedure for lining up at the door, the teacher should model how to walk calmly with the expected voice level and where each person should stand. Students should practice repeatedly with feedback and positive reinforcement as needed. Number 3, teachers should consider using visual or auditory reminders of these procedures. For example, an ordered list of the tasks to be completed upon arrival each day can be hung in a prominent location on the classroom wall. During group work, a timer can be displayed on a screen, giving students notice of when it's time to start cleaning up for the next activity. Young students may recite poems or sing songs during transition periods, reminding them of expectations. The need for these reminders will vary depending on the ages of the students. Number 4, procedures should be reviewed frequently. Additional modeling and practice may be needed as time passes. Number 5, lengthy or complex procedures should be introduced in small chunks to prevent overloading students with new information. For example, if a classroom has 5 learning centers, the teacher can introduce one new center each week to allow students time to become familiar with the associated rules and procedures before being introduced to the next. Again, the ages of the student should be considered when determining how much information to introduce at one time. Number 6, establishing a consistent routine helps students know what to expect next. When possible, activities should be scheduled for a consistent time each day. For example, if students know that they'll start each class period with a set of review questions, they'll know to sit down and get out the needed materials. Having activities like snack, recess, and read-alouds at consistent times reduces stress for younger students. Consistency also creates a more structured environment for students who may struggle with sudden or unforeseen transitions between activities. Daily schedule should be posted so that students know what is coming next. There are many common classroom occurrences that also have the potential to cause interruptions and distractions to learning if procedures are not taught and practiced. For example, what's the procedure if a student needs to use the restroom or have a water break while the teacher is providing instruction? Teachers may use sign-out systems, hand signals, or other means to identify when students need to leave the classroom in ways that minimize interruptions. Another common issue is the need to sharpen pencils. Procedures can be put into place to address this as well, such as requiring students to sharpen 2 pencils as part of their morning routine, requesting individual handheld sharpeners, or providing a cup of sharpened pencils that students can borrow from without asking. Additionally, students often need assistance when their teachers are occupied helping others. For example, a student doing independent work may get stuck in a problem while her teacher is leading a small group in targeted math instruction. Rather than interrupt the group and take away needed instructional time, the student can be taught to ask a peer or skip the question until the teacher is available. In each of these situations, it's important to clearly outline the procedure, explicitly teach and model it, and provide repeated opportunities for students to practice. Let's review what we've learned in this video. Routines and procedures are important parts of classroom management. They minimize interruptions to instructional time, reduce stress and uncertainty for students, and promote a positive environment. Routines and procedures should be developed for regular activities. They should be explicitly taught, practiced, and modeled. Auditory and visual reminders of routines and procedures can assist students with meeting expectations. Posted schedules assist students with knowing and planning for what's coming next. Lengthy or complex procedures should be taught and practiced in small chunks, gradually adding next steps as previous steps are mastered. When possible, scheduling activities at the same time each day provides needed structure and consistency for students. Now for a couple of questions to test your knowledge. Number 1. Ms. Carter's students choose from 5 literacy stations while she conducts guided reading groups. At the start of center time, 10 students rush to the same center. Ms. Carter recently added a new rhyming game to the center, but she's not explained how to use it. An argument breaks out among students about the rules. Ms. Carter stops her guided reading group to settle the disagreement and explain the directions. After 15 minutes, Ms. Carter announces that it's time to switch centers. One student begins crying because he's not finished his turn. The other students run to the next center, leaving the game pieces on the floor. Ms. Carter then has to calm the student and straighten up the center for the next group, resulting in starting her next guided reading group 5 minutes behind schedule. How can Ms. Carter use procedures to minimize interruptions and increase instructional time during reading centers? Ms. Carter can establish rules for how many students are allowed in one center at a time, or create a rotation. She should also introduce new games prior to center time, as well as instruct them on how to walk calmly between centers, put materials away, and pay attention to the time. She should take time to explicitly teach and model desired behaviors. Number 2. Julia is a 6th grader who performs best with structure. She becomes frustrated when there are quick or unforeseen transitions between activities, and not knowing what the class will be doing next causes her stress. What can Julia's teacher do to best support her? Julia's teacher can establish a routine for daily activities, doing them at the same time and in the same order each day when possible. She can provide warning shortly before transitions will occur, giving Julia time to prepare. She can also post the daily schedule in a visible location, so Julia will always know what's coming next. And that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and happy studying!